This is the big one. GB News can confirm that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has relocated to a property on the Sandringham Estate belonging to His Majesty the King.
This is the story of how the King's younger brother went from a 30-room mansion where he paid virtually nothing in rent to being evicted in the dead of night. And when he arrived at his new home, the staff refused to serve him. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the man formerly known as Prince Andrew, Duke of York, has experienced what many are calling the most dramatic fall from grace in modern royal history. February 2nd, 2026, a Monday night, and Andrew quietly slipped out of Royal Lodge, the sprawling Windsor Great Park estate that had been his home for over 2 decades.
Well, Patrick, as you saw first reported in The Sun, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has now relocated from Royal Lodge near Windsor Castle and has moved to a property on the Sandringham Estate, as you said.
Sources who spoke to The Sun revealed he chose to leave under cover of darkness because facing the humiliation in daylight was simply too much. One source put it bluntly, leaving was so humiliating for him that he chose to do it under the cover of darkness, and he had planned to cling on at Royal Lodge a little longer, but with the latest batch of Epstein files, it was made clear to him that it was time to go. His destination was Wood Farm Cottage on the Sandringham Estate in Norfolk, the same property where his late father, Prince Philip, spent much of his retirement. But here's the thing. When Andrew arrived, he discovered something that would have been unthinkable just a few years earlier. Sandringham staff have been told they don't have to serve him if they feel uncomfortable.
Belonging to His Majesty the King. Now, this isn't going to be his permanent home, but this is basically a pit stop, as it were, before he moves into the widely reported Marsh Farm.
A source revealed to The Sun, they've been told they don't have to serve Andrew or work for him if they feel uncomfortable, and there is already quite a list saying no thanks because he is now a total pariah. Picture that for a moment. A man who was once second in line to the British throne, rejected by household staff who have been given permission to simply walk away from serving him. The path to this humiliation stretches back years. Andrew entered the world on February 19, 1960 at Buckingham Palace, the third child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. He flew helicopters in the Falklands War, married Sarah Ferguson in 1986, and fathered 2 daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie. His friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender who died in custody in August 2019, has shattered him for over a decade. That shadow turned into a full eclipse in November 2019 when Andrew gave what many consider the most disastrous interview in British royal history to BBC Newsnight, and his failure to express any empathy for Epstein's victims forced him to step back from royal duties immediately.
Of course, we knew Buckingham Palace announced in October 2025 that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor would be moving out of Royal Lodge. He would forfeit that lease where he was paying peppercorn rent.
February 2022 brought an out-of-court settlement with Virginia Giuffre, though the exact amount was never officially disclosed. The Daily Telegraph estimated it could reach as high as £12 million. Giuffre took her own life on April 25, 2025, at age 41, but her posthumous memoir, Nobody's Girl, arrived in October 2025 and triggered fresh scrutiny that Andrew couldn't escape. What followed, on October 30th, 2025, was King Charles formally stripping his brother of every remaining title. No more prince, no more Duke of York, nothing. Buckingham Palace released a pointed statement declaring these censures necessary despite Andrew's continued denials of all allegations. The last time a British prince lost his title was over 100 years ago, which gives you a sense of how extraordinary this action truly was.
Royal staff are refusing to work for Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor following his move to Sandringham. There are new allegations about the sordid and degrading acts the King's brother and his billionaire criminal friend wanted to carry out.
And that's when the Epstein files landed. January 30th, 2026. The U.S. Department of Justice released over 3 million pages of documents alongside more than 180,000 images and 2,000 videos connected to Epstein. Buried in those documents were photos showing Andrew on all fours over an unidentified woman, along with email exchanges from 2010 between Epstein and someone identified as the Duke. In those messages, Epstein described a woman he wanted to introduce as a 26-year-old Russian who was clever, beautiful, trustworthy. Another allegation surfaced when a lawyer told the BBC that his client had been sent to the UK by Epstein in 2010 for a sexual encounter with Andrew at Royal Lodge, marking the first time an alleged Epstein survivor claimed such an encounter happened at an actual royal residence. Thames Valley Police confirmed they are now assessing the information. British royal expert Hilary Fordwich explained the rush departure.
Former Duke's denials failing to stop his expedited eviction from Royal Lodge. Staff at his temporary Sandringham home told they can refuse to work for Andrew if they feel uncomfortable.
Andrew's original departure was scheduled to be around Easter, but it was instead brought forward in the dead of night, and the ousting is further confirmation of Andrew's diminished status as a persona non grata, because there is no coming back for him. The Royal Lodge arrangement itself became its own scandal. 30 rooms spread across 98 acres with a market value north of £30 million. Back in 2003, Andrew secured a 75-year lease by paying just £1 million upfront plus $7.5 million for refurbishments. His annual rent, according to the lease, was one peppercorn if demanded.
Andrew wasn't benefiting the public goods because he wasn't paying any rent on it. In fact, he was paying peppercorn rent. And of course, on top of that, he was being accused by Virginia Giuffre, for example, the 17-year-old, or at the time was 17, accused Andrew of having sex with her when she was...
Which in practice meant he paid virtually nothing for 20 years on a property that could have earned hundreds of thousands annually on the open market. The peppercorn rent scandal grew loud enough to trigger an official inquiry by the Public Accounts Committee. Pressure keeps building from across the Atlantic. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has called on Andrew to testify before Congress, and U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters he is certainly open to Andrew appearing before American lawmakers, though no legal mechanism exists to compel him. Wood Farm Cottage will remain Andrew's address until Marsh Farm renovations wrap up around Easter. Sarah Ferguson's future remains uncertain, with her spokesperson stating only that she is assessing a number of options currently.
Andrew, since then, we have seen, haven't we, Patrick, in the last couple of days, that photograph of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor on all fours, and then his brother, Prince Edward, only 6-7 hours ago, was essentially kind of ambushed by a journalist and asked how he felt about the latest tranche of Epstein files, and says our thoughts are with the victims, perhaps showing the contrast between working members of the royal family.
When Virginia Giuffre's memoir hit shelves, her brother Sky Roberts offered a simple but cutting summary. Today, an ordinary American girl from an ordinary American family brought down a British prince. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor maintains his denials of all allegations, but one source captured his current reality in a single word: pariah. The man who once attended state dinners and represented his country abroad now sits evicted, stripped of every title, and rejected by the very people who would once have considered it an honor to serve him. The humiliation, it seems, is far from finished. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video informative, please consider subscribing.